Welcome back, everybody. We have a pretty incredible story for you here today. Earlier this year, everything changed for a 33-year-old Austin woman. Lillian Angelle had been living her best life here, enjoying Austin's trails with her dog, working, and just immersed in the city's vibrant music scene. In February, she had a stroke that changed her life.
Since then, she's been recovering with the help of the Center for Neuroskills, and now she's helping other people with disabilities navigate Austin's music venues. And she's joining us here this morning to talk more about the ADA Accessibility Guide that she created and to tell more about her story. Lily, welcome and thanks for being with us. We so appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So take us back to February. What did you experience then?
Yeah, February I was experiencing some mild neck pain for about 2 weeks, and I consider myself a very healthy person, very active. So I didn't really think anything of it. I would have never thought stroke or anything like that. About 2 weeks passed, and then I was just working from my desk at home. I cracked my neck, which is a bad habit that I had, and a pain shot to the front of my head. And that's when I just was overwhelmed with fatigue, and I basically collapsed. And I would have probably just fallen asleep there, but luckily my husband was home, and I got up and went out to him and said I'd feel weird. That was right about when my speech started to slur. And he did a stroke test on me. I could not raise my right arm all the way up, and then that's when he rushed me to the ER, which is where they determined I was having a stroke. So I was then, placed in St. David's Rehab Hospital for about 2 months, recovering from a medullary stroke.
Wow, and I know that the recovery from this has been a lengthy process for you. Where does that stand now?
I'm still in recovery. I'm still trying every day, but I'm doing so much better. I've just returned to work full time. My mom and I are training for the Austin Heart and Stroke Walk in November, so we're very excited about that. So it's just taking little incremental steps forward every day and trying to do a little bit more each day. And it's a long road, but it'll be a recovery for a while, but I'm very happy with how far I've come.
Yeah, so inspiring to hear how you're looking ahead to these things and giving yourself some hope too that you will get better every day. We want to ask, we know live music is such a big part of your life with your job, and of course so many of us here in Austin, it's such a big part of our lives. How did this experience impact the way you're able to interface with that world? And now that you're back at work, what does that look like?
Yeah, I grew up, coming to South by Southwest. I went to college here just down the street at UT, and I've always been going to shows, and I'm lucky enough to work in the music industry for Austin City Limits, produced by Austin PBS. And so, that's a very active job, navigating a venue, going up and down stairs. And I think after the stroke, it was really just trying to look at things in new perspectives, like, how am I going to navigate venues, having to learn how to walk again, having limited mobility. It looks a lot different now, but it's something that I'm working toward every day, and I'm excited to get back into it for sure.
Something really cool and helpful that you did is create an accessibility guide for Austin music venues. What inspired you to do that?
Yeah, well, at Center for Neuroskills, they're great with, working with you on your interests and your background. So after, telling my cognitive rehab specialist, what my background was with music and wanting to get back into work, they gave me a return to work assignment that would help with visual scanning and, processing speed and things like that. So I started building a spreadsheet in my sessions with them, and it was just, aggregating data from Google Business, calling venues. I was also, starting to get more comfortable starting to return to shows at that time. So I was going to venues, actually navigating them with my, trekking pole and my limited mobility, and I thought this is a great guide, just for other fellow patients at Center for Neuroskills and anyone who's, just needs a little extra help getting to a show, because music really is for everyone, and it's such a unifier, and it's just something to remember, and it's something I'd never thought about before the stroke.
Yeah, I flipped through your guide, and it's so clear and helpful, and just so clear how your lived experience is going to be able to connect with people and help them too. So thank you for that. I do want to ask, we've been talking all day about ACL kicking off today, and I know a giant music festival is maybe different than going to a show. So what would you say to people who maybe are a little nervous about navigating the festival today, or maybe they're on a journey like yourself? Any words for them?
I think just pace yourself and, rely on your community, see if there's people there that that can be with you and help you if you need. It can be very scary. There's a lot of dust there. You're walking miles. It's very hot in the Texas sun, but drinking tons of water and just having people around you, will help you. and I'm excited to go. I'm going to try to go to weekend 2.
Great.
I love the Strokes, and now I want to see them again after having a stroke. So.
Well, where can people find the guide in our last few moments, if you could just share that?
So the guide is on my personal Instagram, Lillian Angelle, but I also, I'm working with Center for Neuroskills to place it on their website so that it's more accessible for, patients and other people who are considering, Center for Neuroskills as an option. It's there. And I'd love to keep adding to it as I go to more venues and navigate new spaces.
Well, Lily, we appreciate you joining us and talking more about that. It's very cool, and we're very glad to hear that you're doing better, and we wish you all the best too.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.